you guys can ask some questions. When did you guys get those shirts? Yesterday or?
I bought this morning.
Bought this morning. They still have those?
Yeah. They're running out quick though.
Yeah.
Booth
4, what is it?
411.
411. Yeah. People want to buy them. I'm like, I don't know. It's a Wizard World thing. You're going to have to buy that stakes. You know, just like San Diego Comic-Con releases exclusive toys and everybody's like, oh, come on. Yeah. San Diego Comic-Con. But anyway, if you guys have any questions or anything like that you guys want to ask, we can get started. Yes?
I'll go first.
All right.
You are in MMA and you're obviously very good. Why'd you stop?
Just because of the amount of shows, the politics in the shows, and I'm torn and the schedule. I have to train 8 weeks, literally just disappear. Like from everything, social media, like goodbye everybody for 8 weeks.
And you
I
usually
can't.
public, so.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. Just because of training 6 hours a day, I got to clear my mind. And you know, if you're fighting in that kind of a genre, you got someone in there that's going to want to kill you, split your face, give you stitches, you know what I mean? Break your arm. No, literally. I mean, so you just got to disappear from everybody.
Also, you did hurt your arm in one of them, didn't you?
What's that? Well, my bicep.
Yeah, bicep,
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. But that's the reason. And I just talked this morning. I'd love to go back, but I needed something big. Like if CM Punk said, "I'll fight you, give 8 weeks, let's go." I'll disappear for a while and come back and fight him. You know, it needs to be a good, not a good, well-paid show, a good quality show.
Yeah.
Not just about the money, about a good fan base show and something like that. So that's why I stay away from the MMPR fan movie. That's not quality. It's not approved. It's not Saban approved. I mean, I just talked to Saban today about the Green Ranger series or movie. So I want to keep in good with them. I don't want to overstep boundaries of franchise boundaries. And if you don't have the blessings from someone like from that company saying, yeah, you can do a fan movie, then I wouldn't even touch it. Because Saban's not the type of people who do that.
Is he excited about that?
About what?
So the Green Ranger movie?
Well, he's a businessman, so I have to prove to him the numbers and the fans and all that stuff. So, Bat and the Sun working on a few things. Either we're going to shoot the trailer straight up or go straight to them. I've already went to them and presented everything that we have. It's just a lot. You got to protect the franchise. You got to make sure that the storyline's not going to interfere with the kids and, stuff like that. So you got to bring them a lot of things. So we're definitely working on that. And Bat and the Sun, if you guys are watching the White Ranger versus Scorpion, check that out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why at Wizard World they don't show at the costume contest like Bat and the Sun superhero versus superhero stuff, like Superman versus Thor, and they have some really good stuff. I think the Comic-Con people would really enjoy it, but that's just my opinion. I mean, you get to pick your superheroes and decide if they would fight, who would win,
Yeah.
And so they got a lot of episodes. You should check them out. Lots of hits, millions and millions of hits on their stuff, and they do good work. So, yes.
I know I asked this the other day. When I was in the line for autographs and whatnot. But what else are you working on with Bat and the Sun?
Well, we're working on right now. Got my reality show with them with Machina, same people that do the Mortal Kombat web series. Got that, and they're blowing up big right now, like Netflix. Hulu. Got that with them, so I'll be airing my reality show next January on that type of network. My Morphin Life reality show. And then I'm working on another film project with Bat and the Sun, like a bigger one. And then working on the Green Ranger thing, so I'm working on 3 things with them right now. So, but they do good work, So.
Will you ever work for another Guinness World Record?
Guinness World Record, probably with something different. I'm the kind of guy I like to move on, do something and move on. So I got some stuff I'm working on right now. And if I say what I'm working on, then you got a line of people trying to beat me and pump up the publicity and be like, oh, I did this. Like, who cares?
What made you, you're naturally a smaller guy, so what made you decide to bulk up to heavyweight?
I walk at 205. I fight at 217. So it just super heavyweight is what my coach said, and it's anything above 206. So like right now, I weigh in probably at 200, 205. Is what my walking weight is. And I just didn't want to crush myself and kill myself to go to 185. And figured if I just stay in that, I don't belong in that division, but. Figure start with the big division and work your way down, and it's just going to get better. But that's really what it was about. Trying to figure out. That's what my coach wanted me to do, so that's what I did. So I'd have to kill myself making weight. Yes.
When you go to dress up for Halloween with your kids,
Yeah.
what do you go as?
Well, don't normally dress up, but I, did the Wolverine thing this year. Got the Wolverine black
Nice.
mask and stuff like that.
Nice.
But I was a Joker last year. What else? Yeah, and I'm not too sure, but I let my little girl go around and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I definitely don't dress up as the Green Ranger.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's you.
I wouldn't have family time. I need family time with my daughter. You know what I mean? If not, I'll just be out there signing autographs and paying attention to every other little kid on
Yeah.
the block except my own daughter.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure I allow that time just with my family. You know what I mean? So that's a hard thing to balance.
Yeah.
When my little girl travels with me and I spend 10 hours with the fans and I don't spend no time with her, and it's, at the end of the day, you got a family to go to, and you got to balance it out a little bit. So, what's up, buddy?
During your Power Ranger movies, did anybody ever make you mad? And then when you were training for a fight scene, did you punch him on purpose and say it wasn't happening?
No, the only thing ever like that happened was in the Power Ranger movie with the Tengu birds flying in. There's a baseball card of me doing a jump spinning sidekick of me kicking the bird right in the face, and that was the only time where the stunt guy came down. And I was doing Hollywood Kung Fu, barely touching him and stuff like that, and he came down and he's like, "Mate, you need to kick me harder. You need to kick me hard, mate. I can't feel it." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "How hard do you want me to kick you?" He's like, "Kick me hard, mate. I can't feel it." So I was like, "All right." So during the take, he overshot the line just a little bit, and I just did the hardest jump spinning sidekick I could do, and I caught him under the chin, and he was on wires, and he just was knocked out. So they cut and all that stuff, then they put the helmet on, and I just, simply went up, and I said, "Are you okay, buddy?" I said, "Was that hard enough?"
Are you good? You got your teeth,
Yeah, that's all. And, I don't know if he's happy or what.
Obviously, your schedule is demanding,
Yeah.
and you have more control over it now, I guess. Is it more busy now, or was it more busy back when you were in your early 20s doing Power Ranger stuff?
I'm way more busy now.
Really?
Because I have control of it, because I'm a disciplined guy. You know what I'm saying? I am. It just takes a lot to work. How many times you all don't want to work and you call in sick and you didn't want to show up at your friend's house, or you didn't commit to a commitment. Just think about that. Think about if I did that, how the press will fly around and how I don't care about people. So it is very hard demanding on me. I've been traveling for like 2 years every single weekend because I choose to, because I give my word to someone. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to. And so I would think that it's harder in a different sense, traveling around. I used to live right down the street from the set, so I would drive 5 minutes to work and then drive back. Although the schedules were hard filming, I probably had more time back then than I do now, because the traveling and stuff like that. So, and next year, 2014, it's super busy. I mean, I'm trying to slow down, and I already got like 30 shows, and I'm trying to
You're coming
balance
back
that out.
here,
Yeah, I'm trying to balance it out, trying to figure out, which shows to do, and I got fans, "Hey, come here and come overseas." It's just too hard, because then I fly like so long overseas, and then I got to fly so long back, and then usually I'm somewhere else again. So I do want to allow that time to train and to jump and do stuff, but I want to also do what I'm doing. But I have to keep in mind that if the Green Ranger stuff goes, I'm going to be out for a while. So there's going to be cons, possibly, that I might have to be like, "Hey, I have to skip these 3 months because I'm filming," or something like that. I never cancel cons, but with the Puerto Rico Comic-Con, people were really upset, and I was like, well, it's either I go to Puerto Rico Comic-Con and I cancel the Saban show and cancel the Return of Megaforce. So what do you want me to do? If I got 3 upset people, I'm gonna probably have millions of upset fans at you because you're being selfish. They want to see the Megaforce, so I have to. Sometimes work gets in the way. Sometimes, and you balance it out. But it's all for the fans. If it was for something else, like, well, I just want to take a break, or I want to go here, but it was for the fans. So it was a choice I had to make, But that was the only one. But I'm going back to Puerto Rico this year, so that should be fun. But yeah, it's definitely hard and demanding and disciplined, because I am my own boss. I can do whatever I want. I can pull out whenever I want. I can leave right now if I want. I don't have to show up. Being your own boss is a tough thing. Either you're a disciplined boss or you're a slackish boss. You know what I mean? And I run corporations, and it's really hard to be disciplined. Like, if you can imagine how hard it is to be disciplined, then don't eat fast food for 1 entire year and see how that is. That's like my life, how disciplined, training and the stuff you eat and working out and fitness year and reaching fans and doing this and doing, it's all discipline, self-discipline. You know, working out's not the, you think I enjoy running on a treadmill and, hey, this is awesome. It's like, I've done it for my whole entire life. I need, you know, listen to music or, you know, run the streets or something like that, you know. I'm not that kind of running the streets, but, you know. But yeah, it's discipline. I think everyone can use discipline in their life because their life would be straightened up if we could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yes.
I really enjoyed watching you with my kids growing up, and I enjoyed you as a professor in the Dino series.
Thank you.
How did you enjoy acting that role?
Yeah, it was
More
good.
than just punching and kicking?
Yeah, I still punch and kick, but it was just a different role. Yeah, it was definitely different, you know, being a teacher and, you know, stuff like that and going back into Dino Thunder. But when I went back to Dino Thunder, I was kind of surprised at the outtake on Dino Thunder. Even though the ratings went up, it just never really, like, I could not get publicity. Like, they put me on tour, and before I was on a world tour with the White Ranger, and I went to Paris and France, and I had everybody lined up from press rooms to NBC to ABC to everybody wanting doing, you know, press releases, and then we go to Dino Thunder, and, you know, they can't even grab me in one New York, and it's not me, it's just the franchise. I couldn't grab one interview, and the interview they grabbed is like some local blob that's, you know, it was just surprising to me that Dino Thunder never really, you know what I mean? It was, the Disney killed the franchise. Straight up, Disney killed it. Why is it so popular now, and why is it this, and why is it that? Because Saban owns the property again. It's all about merchandising. You go to Hot Topics, you see the Green Ranger stuff. You go and pull up old school stuff. Netflix bought Power Rangers. Saban was part of that. I mean, he brought it all back. And, you know, it's really what he's a marketing genius, but he protects his franchise. It's all he has is Power Rangers. He doesn't have nothing else. I mean, yeah, he owns Paul Frank's a Little Monkey clothing line that he'll probably do a cartoon with and stuff like that. But I'm saying in general, his biggest claim to fame is Power Rangers. That's brought him probably $4 billion, if not $5 billion to himself. So go figure. All you guys and toys.
I've got a simple 5-part question. You might remember me from last night. I was Pete, the White Ranger.
Yep.
Pete is actually a nickname my basketball coaches gave me back in the day.
Yeah.
But anyway, simple 5-part. One, when you fought Brock Lesnar, how quickly did you want to end that?
I never fought Brock. And if I did fight Brock, I would probably want to end it pretty quick.
Second one was, I know you said, I've seen your Facebook, and you said last night that you did a lot of your own stunts because you want, I guess you like doing it because don't want to be, it's the self-discipline in you and stuff like that, but.
I think it's just fun, but I get bored sitting around set.
It's like, let's do this.
Yep.
I figured that, and that's what I really like about you is because the fact that you actually want to do your own stuff. You want to be the future Jackie Chan, basically. But here's a simple question. With Wizard World scheduled to come back here next year, and you said you're probably going to come back next year, is there any way y'all can get Power Morphicon to come here as well?
Power Morphicon's a whole different organization. That's like, you know what I mean? It's a whole different company. It's like merging ABC and NBC together. It just won't work. You know, Power Morphicon is their own independent thing that they do. You know, to be honest, I like doing solo panels, and the only reason is because I'm not the only one that says, I've been ripped off, and I never got paid. It's like ridiculous. I love my job. Doesn't matter what, I was always taken care of because I never went on strike and got fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd like to be on top of to protect the franchise brand and to be thankful for what I do. Even if I got paid the regular job you got paid at your job, I would still do what I'm doing today. So it was never about money or anything like that. So when I do solo panels, I like that. I hate to hear people complain, oh, I never got paid. It's like, dude, you should be so fortunate to be who you are. And I would do it for free. I would step into the Expendables for free to do it. It's not about the money for me. Even these cons are not about the money. Going out here and making fans. People want to know, how do you have so many Facebook fans? How did it reach 1.7 million? And how do you have 200,000? It's called social media, but you have to be social media on this part of a celebrity's job. You can't just here's my page, and disappear. You have to like be interactive with people, and
I love the fact
it's
my
social
feed is
media.
overloaded with stuff from you.
Yeah,
I
I
love
know.
it.
I know.
Because there's always something cool on there.
Yeah, I always try to, and it's important though, it's important to share, and I think that people come see me, to meet me, I have repeated friends coming because they've experienced something new, I post to them on Facebook, they kind of know me, you know what I mean, and it's different than just, than, go look at people's lines sometimes.
The
You
other-
can
the other,
experience, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah, thanks for staying humble.
yeah, man, I try to.
Doing this for a decent price, because some of those other guys charge
Yeah.
crazy amounts of money. I don't know who they expect, like, is going to these, but we don't make
But they
that
do
kind of money
anyway.
to-
Stallone was charging $400 an autograph at New York
That was
Comic Con,
crazy.
but he was
I
sold
was
out.
there.
He was sold out, and I heard more negative things about that than I heard positive things. But yet the people that bought it were like sticking up for his autograph left and right, like, but you don't understand. Look how nice this looks, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, silver pen, cool. Yeah. You know,
Actually,
but he
he
really
looked
took
like a
his
train
time.
wreck.
And huh?
He looked like a train wreck in all
Did
the
he?
pictures.
I didn't see.
He
all.
looked like he was like a Freddy Krueger or something.
Oh my god.
There's no spring chicken.
Yeah. But you know, again, now there we go on a publicity side and as a celebrity side. He doesn't need money to do it. You're promoting a new movie. What I would do if I was him, I would have showed up for free for about you're going to spend 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever. Say, hey, I'm promoting my new movie. All first come, first serve. Get in line, get a ticket. I'll sign a movie poster of me and Arnold or whatever. That's just my opinion. I mean, if you don't need the money, then don't take the money from people that really want to see you. That spend, you know, a photo op and an autograph is $850. So.
He said that he brought it down from 1,000. That was his.
Ooh.
That's what he said. That's what he told like
What a discount.
What a discount.
I dropped my price. I dropped my price to.
Stanley's autograph for like 60, so.
I
Yeah.
think that when you get to that point, you don't realize what normal people make anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just think that, you know, for the fans too, and I try, and listen, there's a promoting side to this too. It's not like just me. There's promotions on Wizard World and everything we do. We try to keep it, you know, if I do something, I try to keep it more valuable, like, you know, a picture and a signed poster and a free poster. It's the same amount of money anyway. So I try to, or my karate classes, hey, let's charge for karate classes. Not these promoters, but some independent promoters I don't want to. If I do a stunt class, it's different, like in Austin, because that's a work, hand work, that's like stunt work. But for karate class, I never really do that, you know, and I'll do karate classes for free because I want to get them involved in karate so then they can continue to do karate. Because that's like the message that I have and stuff like that, so.
The other two questions I had,
yeah,
same one
5,
for
that's
last
right.
night, would you do a voicemail message for me?
That's the one, I got that script for you. I told you I'll do it afterwards. I didn't want to take all the time up, but we'll do it at the table. You can see Francis.
All right, and then the final one was, I told you last night after the costume contest that I brought my boards with me when you do the karate
Oh,
class.
yeah, bring those to karate class too.
Would you, one, break the boards, and two, would you spar me in 3 2-minute rounds?
To answer your questions, you can bring the boards into class, and I've been sued way too many times. But if you want to fight and spar,
I've
it's
got-
something
I've
that,
got
I
my
know, I
sparring
just
gear
can't, I
with
can't
me.
spar people. People said he hit me, and then they want to sue me. And,
I got it on tape.
I
love that because look at my teeth
I would
falling
love to, man. You come to my school's open, and I've had every fighter in America say, hey, I want to fight you. I said, my school's open at 1 o'clock, come spar, and nobody shows up. But, we got all the proper stuff, but I want to balance it out with everybody, because I
Okay,
got a lot of
that
people
does
here.
remind me, have you thought about franchising out and putting one in Tupelo, Mississippi?
Yeah, I can't franchise out just because it takes too long to really build a good black belt, you know what I mean? Like my corporation is really tough on black belts. If you want to be a black belt with me, you got to study from 6 to 8 years and do a test for about 12 hours.
I don't
you
think
know what I
my
mean? So-
sensei do that. He's a 6th-degree black belt, but
Yeah.
he's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Perfect. That's
So-
good. What's your next question? We have a question. Sorry, man. What's your next question?
I know you did the call-out thing to CM Punk. If WWE and CM Punk offer you to get on there and do a
Oh, I would,
Thank
yeah.
you, so would you
Yeah,
do
I
that?
would.
Okay.
Because it's, you know, it's a fan-driven thing. I didn't really call him out. I
Well, you
don't know
know
how
what
it
I mean.
started. He's the one that said in his Q&A that he would fight me.
Oh, yeah.
And then it started from there. So, like, you know, I'm like, okay, well, you know, if you say, yeah, I'll fight him, then, okay, cool. Here, just sign this contract. When are we going to fight? I mean, that's how the fight world works. You got to be real careful on what you say in the fight world. Because if you say, yeah, I'll fight him, and then all of a sudden the next thing comes out was, well, we never worked out and negotiate the deal because, you know, the price-wise, and like I said, I'd fight for $1, so there ain't nothing to that
Would you go to the WWE and actually do their kind
Yeah,
of thing?
I would
or
do their thing. I would try to see
Because
what
I figure that's probably
a lot of
one
people
thing
say,
that's
don't
happening.
ruin your career, man, by doing that. So, you know, I mean, some fans want to see it, some fans don't. Some fans love it, some fans hate it. You can't make everyone happy, you know. It's just life.
Then you can
I
wear the
tried.
best in the world shirt.
Huh?
Then you can wear the best in the world shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Do you guys have any questions in the back? You guys have any?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
I was wondering, do you have a favorite episode of Power Rangers?
Favorite episode? Well, in general, for not like personal feelings or anything else, I think Fighting Spirit was fun. It was just different, you know. It was like because I got to play the, you know, kind of evil voice, like, oh, you finally cut, you're an evil ranger still, and voices and battle everybody. I don't know why Turbo wasn't in there, but I just thought about that. But yeah, I think Fighting Spirit from Dino Thunder was fun. That was.
Because you got to sleep in that one?
All I gotta do is lay here.
Yep. All I gotta do is sleep. You guys have? Yep. All right. Okay, just go here and then go there.
Yeah, what's your favorite villain in Power Rangers?
Well, for personal reasons, I love Lord Zed because I loved who played Lord Zed. You know, everyone gets autographs by the voices and stuff like that, which is cool, which, you know, do the voice of it. But the actor, Ed Neal, who worked and brought a lot of life to Lord Zed. He was so, like, he could have been the voice of it. I mean, like, you don't hear it because they cut the voice out, but he's like, you know, like, if they would do a line, we'd have actors in there, like, you just move your head, and then they'd be like, all right, we're going to destroy this world, and you know, they would just read the lines and do this with their body, and then the actor would be like, oh, you think, you know, they would put the voice in, bring it to life, but Ed brought Lord Zed to life, man. He was just like, you do the voice, you Power Ranger. I mean, he worked so hard and never got credit for being Lord Zed. That's who I know Lord Zed is. No offense to Robert or the voice actors. I don't know the voice actors. Like, I don't know. You know, I've never, like, people are like, hey, did you work with Alpha? It's like the Alpha I know who was Alpha was Paul Schreier's girlfriend who was dressed as Alpha. She's the one that wore the costume 12 hours a day. She's the one that sweated in the costume, and it stinks because an actor that gets all the credit to sign autographs.
Killer.
And which, like the C-3PO guy, like I didn't understand. I was like, well, so he's just in costume, and you know, but I guess he did in costume and voice at work. So he's like the really guy to put like the work into the costume and the voice actor. And that to me, that's like, you know, that's, you know, worth an autograph if you're into that stuff. But anyway, so I would say Lord Zed, and then we'll go over here. Then we'll go over here.
What was it your popularity that kept you in Power Rangers? Because all the original guys kind of dropped off.
Yeah. You know, man, I really, truly, honestly believe that, yes, you know, Tommy had a following, but the person can make that character. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been thankful and humble for what I did. I always poured passion to what I did. I don't care. I had 10 episodes. I was like, cool, I'm going to make the best 10 episodes of my life. I guess I'm going to die, so who cares? Let's just film and make the best 10 episodes. And being a leader was not my choice. It wasn't like, ooh, let me be leader. Ooh. You know, like, it was just one of those things that just happened. You know, I was passionate about what I did, and they were like, well, how would you feel about leading the team? And I was like, I will. I'll do my best. I showed up and worked on time. I worked so hard. I worked behind the scenes. You know, I understood how lights work. I pushed the dolly during camera stuff. I mean, I was, you know, my dad's a trucker, so I was an on-hands guy. Like, I wasn't born in money like Paris Hilton. Like, when she shows up in Brazil, she shuts the whole hotel down, like the whole entire hotel down. Someone said, like, she just shuts the whole. I said, for what? They said, just for her. I mean, to me, that's creepy. You know what I mean? Like, walking a hotel just all empty and maybe all the rooms, it's just creepy. It's scary. But I just think the passion drove, you know, I guess when you meet someone, you can kind of feel it. You know what I mean? Like, I meet a lot of celebrities, and I wouldn't want to drop names, and I'm not happy with half the people I meet. Very disappointing. I don't even want to be in the green room, to be honest with you. And sometimes I see the way with fans, and it is, man. It is just, you know, and sometimes like I feel like saying, well, who do you think you are? You know? And trust me, it happens a lot. Or I do an Instagram picture. I want to take a picture with someone for Instagram, and I get turned down. It makes me mad. Can't take a picture with you. Okay. Okay. And I'm thinking, I don't even know who they are. I just want to Instagram it. You know what I mean? So I just truly believe that if you do what you're passionate about doing, it just happens. You know, like if you're like an artist or a filmmaker or, you know, like even with Bat in the Sun, I know that guy has a lot of talent. We did some insert shots in Texas with like his little camera, and some of the shots he did were like amazing. He's just talented. I mean, like I asked him, like, how do you, and he goes, I just love it. His dad does all the scoring, and there's some people that just have that natural talent, but the passion for it. You see, when I worked with Bat in the Sun, I didn't know who they were at all. They called me and they said, how would you, you know, we're doing an episode. I thought they were a little company, because I'll give anybody like a little podcast to NBC, and I've lucked out before. Like I've lucked out. Like someone came up and I thought, you know, they could just be an average. Who cares? They're like, I got an interview I want you to do. I'm like, hey, cool. I'm like, cool. And they're like, do you want to know? I'm like, no, let's just do it. I'm thinking, you know, it's a little, and it turns out to be like a huge, huge interview. And they're like, I'm so glad you accepted this interview and you didn't even know who I was. And I was like, that's fine. That's what happened to Bat and Son. They called me and they're like, you want to do an episode? And I'll say, yeah, I'll promote it, whatever. I'll post it on my Facebook. And then I looked, and the one thing had like 5 million views, and I was like, "What do you do, dude?" And I, you know, then I watched the episodes, Wolverine versus Batman, and all these things, and then I was like, then I watched this work, and then I said, "What's your budget on it?" And he hardly shoots for anything, and he makes magic out of nothing. You know what I mean? And that's what we did with Saban, and again, first season, you know, I never went on strike, never said I want more money for it. And that's why you see the cast come and go. A lot of cast members come and go. Now, all 20 years later, most of the cast members are back to do what I'm doing for a job. I don't do this for a job. You know, I don't just see it for money and go, oh yeah, I'm gonna do cons. Hey, I'm embracing. I've embraced Power Rangers from day one, 20 years, through the ups and through the downs, and through you're the nobodies and you're washed up has-beens to everything. I've embraced it because I'm happy to be a superhero. I mean, you know what I mean? It's silly for people to think like, you know, when you regret anything you do? Not really. I mean, I'm like a superhero. You know, there's so many millions of kids that grew up watching me, and it's like, who could say that, you know, you're a superhero and a hero to so many people?
I was kind of let down. Amy Jo Johnson said she hated her role or something like that.
Well, she, you know, don't be surprised if you don't start seeing Amy come to cons. Don't be surprised. I paved the way for people. A lot of people see the money thing. I don't. When I come to cons, I come to cons. Sometimes I'll even fly my own way. Like New York City, I flew my own way, and I got blessed with thousands and thousands of people, and headlines were like I beat out other lines. I paid my own way to go. I called them and said, hey, just promote me. I'll be there. Okay. Bought my own hotel. I don't like to be under control sometimes by people, and just do what I did. And if there's people there, cool. If not, it's still going to be the same thing. 1 to 100,000 people is all good for me. You know, I'm just going to have a great time. And that's kind of what I've invested in myself and believed in myself, but also because you guys, it is what it is today. And a lot of people, you know, so you'll probably start seeing her a little bit more. You'll probably start seeing a lot of people now that I've like paved the way in the con world, where everyone looks at my videos and first thing they say is, how much money can I make at that? And that's not what I say. I say, where can I go now? Tennessee, cool. You know what I mean? So it's important for me to reach out to fans. Yes.
When you get injured, is there a certain training that you do, like, or do you have anything that you recommend for people that are not 100% healthy?
You know, I think the first thing starts with you got to be right in your head. You know what I mean? Like that's where injuries happen. Like it really messed my head up a lot. Like thinking, you know, distal bicep tears and pushing my body. And the first thing in believing and healing is through your own head, through your brain, through what your beliefs are. You can be healed like that. People that, you know, I was watching a show today, and you know, I watch a lot of. Creflo Dollar's a pastor that I don't mind watching because he tells it how it is. You know, I like him because he just he says crazy stuff. But he would tell you that it's just that your mind is your worst enemy. You know what I mean? Like your mind can do whatever you want it to do, but you have to train there first. But also know that there's limitations that you have to get through. But you can't say, I can't do that, because I've seen people that, you know, say, hey, I'm having trouble walking, or I'm having trouble this, or you're not going to live in 1 week, and then they turn out to be healthy. So it starts in the mind. Like your mind can give up, your mind can tap out, and if you're strong enough, you just got to keep pushing through it, you know. And it's life, you know. But I think the battle is in our brain. You know, when you do something, you say, I can't do it. It's like a little guy talking to you or whatever, like, I shouldn't, you know. Just, you gotta do things that you feel what's right. You gotta do things what you feel is in your heart, you know? There's some times where you look at something and you go, this ain't right. I don't know if I should do this, man. This ain't right, and it might not be right. Maybe something's telling you not to do that. That's why I say live fearlessly. Not like when people see me jump out of airplanes or, you know, fight and live like a James Bond life. It doesn't mean like live stupid. It means live fearlessly. Do what you love to do, and it doesn't matter, you know, success is not measured on the money. Success is measured on if you really like doing what you do, you know. And if you're in a situation that you might not get out of, you got to deal with it and make the best out of that situation, and be happy with where you're at there. Because, you know, someone always has it worse than you. It's true. You know what I mean? And we speak about this and we speak about that. And, you know, we have some guys in a wheelchair back there that are champions and troopers, you know, and then here we're complaining about this bicep tear. You know, we're complaining about a limp, or we're complaining about, you know, these guys are tough, they're champions, they're hanging in there, they're, you know, they love their stuff, and then, you know, someone always has it worse than you, so you got to take the situation that you're in and make the best out of it, look around sometimes, and, you know, be thankful for what we do. And that's what I've done from day one on the show. How can you complain? You're in the spotlight. You're doing a TV show. People cater to you left and right. I hated that. Hated it on the TV show because I get spoiled. I didn't want to be so spoiled. Like, you get the hair and the sandwiches and this and that. It's like, after a while, you have to do nothing. I was like, oh, I want to do my own stuff. You want to make a sandwich? I want to make it. Why? Because I'm bored. That's why. And then I'll make sandwiches for other people and put bugs in them and stuff. Yeah.
Leading up to the Power Rangers, you'd obviously been in lots of martial arts for many years at that point. I think you were like 5 when you started, 4 or 5, really young. Growing up and leading into the Power Rangers, what was your inspiration? Really, like, who were your heroes leading up into that before you became a hero?
Probably, honestly, my instructors.
Yeah.
You know, being a sensei is like you look up to your senseis and stuff like that. And my instructor was, you know, in Hollywood, he was doing stunts, and, you know, he was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, the movie, and, you know, he was always on set and working. And so I really looked up to those guys. They trained me. I mean, I was there 6 days a week. They taught me everything I know. You know, by the age of 12, I had my first job, and, you know, by the age of 18, I bought my first karate school that I trained at when I was 4. So now I was the boss at the karate school. They just taught me a lot. Taught me a lot of discipline. Taught me to never say no. Never say no. You see, in my family, my dad never once proud, but it was that thing where my dad says, you got to be born into this, son. You got to be born into the acting world. It's just the way it is. You got actors and uncles that are directors, and then actors, and I said, yeah, that's true. But somebody must have made that step just to get into the business, because you're just not born into it. There's someone that made that step to say, this is what I want to do. Now that I'm in the business, maybe Jenna and others, it'd be a little bit easier, but someone had to break the chain. Someone had to break that curse, or whatever you want to call it. Because sometimes in life, people do the same things over and over again. Like a bird will build a nest. The same bird 12 years later builds the same nest that the bird built. I mean, it's just in your life, unless you're the one